Welcome to Take It from the Iron Woman. My name is Susanne Müller, your host and the Iron Woman. This podcast is about empowering yourself and others to make real changes in the world. You will hear from everyday, smart, sophisticated, hip people like you and me. Not everybody has to be an Iron Woman to impress the world. Together, we will learn from the sports and business leaders how you can become a more successful person as an entrepreneur or a leader. It's one step at a time, one day at a time. Take your steps now. Take your big steps now. Join me on this journey to success. Take it from the Iron Woman. We only have special guests, and today we talk again to Diane Wyzga about her project for her Wednesday. How can we draft or craft stories for you when an expert can help you craft and draft your effective message? You will see her vision to come up with a concept for Wednesday when she opens up her podcast, her live podcast to others. You can be part of her journey. Listen to how we brainstorm, or I call it brain stimulate, for the next episodes to come.
But Wednesdays on Whitby were more designed to let people know what I was doing as a coach, as a consultant. I thought that I would convert it a little bit and do a Diane on Mike so that the Wednesdays on Whitby become 5-7 minutes of actual tips. Because I find that I can say on Friday, write that story and feel like there are people who probably do know how to pick up the thread and write the story. But I imagine there are many who don't and could use some tips, ideas, structure on how to go about that. That's my plan, is to set that up so that someone can look forward to it like a mini
storytelling hour with you in a way, and how to craft your message. I envision almost as a live session.
Oh, I didn't think about it that way. You've just given me a very good idea. The plan was, as far as I've thought about it, was simply to record, just like I've been doing now, taking a topic of how do I get an idea, for example? How do I reduce my big idea to 60 seconds or 90 seconds? How do I pay attention to a call to action, a question, whatnot? It's kind of like going behind the curtain and seeing how the Wizard of Oz does it. That was the idea, is just to start somewhere and say, this is how I work. And this might be of use to you in your work if you're trying to, for example, distill a presentation or trying to get down to the most salient points of what you want to say in a speech, for example. But I hadn't thought about doing it live. But that would be a grand idea, because then you could, what are you thinking, work with somebody in that short amount of time?
What I could envision potentially, maybe you start out with 4 episodes on you talking. It's about presentation. It's about executive presence. It's about creating your LinkedIn or resume. Just 4 options. Then you see how many people react. Then maybe you could have an open mic in a way and say, okay, let's start with the storytelling again. Is somebody here in the audience? Obviously, you can invite somebody to prompt them a little bit. Let's tell your story. How do I create a story about lipstick leadership?
That would be a wonderful idea. Okay, I'm going to tag you then.
Okay.
Because that's a beautiful idea to start with. You have this remarkable book. You've got very clear branding around it. How many people do we both know that have a copy of a book in the hands of the Vice President Kamala Harris, which she does because you sent her a copy of your book, and to hear how someone came up with the idea for the book, how they put that book together, why lipstick, why leadership, why that hot pink look that says female, woman all over it in a very grand, bold way. You could start with someone who's already produced something, as you have, and hear the story of how they started from idea to production. And then using that as a framework, saying, okay, who here has something that's noodling around in their head, but it's not clear yet. You've got this, as I say, you've got an image, and we need to translate that into some action. Oh, that'd be a brilliant idea.
Exactly.
Okay.
If you put the book together, you need to have on whatever platform you're using. I'm not naming any platforms. You need to have a little blurb. What is the book all about? How can you distill what you want to say in one paragraph? And our friend Seth Godin says, if writers were in the old centuries, if they were today, you actually need to be a speaker also, not only a writer, because you need to promote your book.
Yes.
You cannot just have the book in a bookstore and people start to buy it. You need to talk about your book. You need to live and eat and breathe your book with your audience and create that audience, engage the audience. And I think that's where you can come in.
That is very generous and brilliant, you and Seth together, because so often I imagine, you and Seth going, I imagine that someone has an idea for a book. They actually they publish the book. But when it comes to engaging, as you said, with those who might be interested in it, folks could be tongue-tied, because what do they say, that speaking in public is the number one fear of the whole world? I think snakes is second, but just being able to speak in public about what you do, how you do it, where did the idea come from, what some people might call your origin story. How did this start? What was the turning point, etc. So yes, being able to clearly, concisely, cogently get your thoughts together in such a way that you're connecting with someone. I love the word engaged that you used, because I think that's even deeper than a connection is. You're actually working with, there is a dialogue going on between the two of you, even though you're not both speaking, but that's where the level of engagement is taking place.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
We're ready for you.
Okay.
Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us. I think this is going to be a cool episode. We just talk about tips and tricks.
Tips and tricks. I like that. Yeah. Very good.
Okay. We'll see you with your live episodes.
Oh boy, I can't wait.
What a lovely brain stimulation with Diane. 800 podcasts, soon to have 1,000 podcasts. Every single day, Monday through Friday, we hear from her with her stories. Ask her how you can create your story. Take It From the Iron Woman has episodes every Monday or more. And the book is Take It From the Iron Woman, Global Business Coaching with Sports Parallels. Thank you for your support. We wish you all the best for 2023.